Hey everybody! And a warm welcome to a new story. Today's story is called probably the saddest EP story you will see today. From the Entitled Parents subreddit. I hope you like it and will enjoy the time. If you like my content and this kind of videos, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. As always, this story is told from the original writer*''s point of view. The link is down below in the description. Enjoy it. So a few people have messaged me saying my post was deleted, and when I looked for it, it was indeed removed for some reason. So here is a re-upload. Now if for some reason, you can still view my old post, then please inform me. Before you start reading though, keep these points in mind. Each country has its own laws, its own system. I am from India. In India, our school starts in April and we have our midterms in September. Now for the part about the exam. Asian education is weird. 9-year-olds taking a 3-hour exam is nothing out of the ordinary. You can look it up. As for retaking the test, it's a crappy rule, I'll admit, but it's rule nonetheless. I had to do a project to make up for the grade. So it's all good. Onto the story. Back when I was in primary school, 4th grade, there was this girl. Let's call her Sally. Who would go to any extent to make my life a living hell. I don't know why she did it because I never gave her a reason. But then again, she had started the minute I stepped into the classroom on my first day. I was new there, by the way. I wasn't the only person she hated though, she hated almost everyone save for a few of her friends and parents. She would often make up stories about me and tell them to teachers. Our school works on a policy, didn't see it didn't happen, which was dumb but that had saved me detention countless time. Anyways, I had tried my best that year and by 2 months I had already climbed the popularity ladder. And guess who was at the top of it? That's right, Sally. She knew I would dethrone her one day, so she would do anything in her power to get a good grade on her tests. Going as far as bribing the teacher. But that's a story for another day. Tuesday, September 12, 2009. It was the day of the big test. Our first midterm. I worked hard for this just so I can see her stupid face drop when the teacher announces I got the highest. But that never happened. Why? Well, basically, there is this rule at my school which states, no matter what happened, a student has to complete their exam within the allotted 3 hours. While I was writing my exam, I heard Sally ask permission to go fill her bottle. While going back to her seat, she took a detour and walked behind my seat. Next thing I know, Sally spilled water on my paper. That's right, we had almost an hour left to submit and she spilled water on my goddamn paper. She had the nerve to say, "Oops, sorry," and go back to her seat like nothing happened. I looked at the teacher and she shrugged, saying, "Accidents happen. Just wait for the paper to dry and then complete it. Wait for the water to dry." Mind you, we had to use fountain pens. Everyone in the class knew I was F-seeked. What happened next was completely obvious. I waited for the paper to dry but it didn't, and then I had to submit my paper, incomplete. Up till now, I never told my parents about Sally because I knew if I did my mom would definitely pay my teacher a visit and cause problems, and I didn't want that. But that day Sally took it too far and I told my mom everything. The next day my dad complained to the principal. She called in Sally's dad and here is how the conversation went. MD, my dad. SD, Sally's dad. S, Sally. P, principal. MD, my daughter has told us yesterday that Sally here has been giving her trouble since day 1. What she did yesterday was unacceptable. I want you to allow my daughter to retake the test or anything that will help her grades. P. I'm sorry, we can't do that. Once the test is done, no one is allowed to retake it. MD, not even do something for extra credits. P. That we will think about. MD, what about Sally here? Isn't she going to be punished? SD, why should my daughter be punished? She didn't do anything wrong. MD, she spilled water on my daughter's test paper. That's called sabotaging someone. SD, I am sorry, did you just say my daughter sabotaged your daughter? She doesn't have a need to do that. She is better at everything than your daughter. S, that's true. Cat here could never beat me. That's going to be proved from our exam results. Me, Mrs. P, I saw her spilling it purposefully. You can check the cameras for proof. At the mention of cameras, Sally and her dad both shuddered visibly. SD, well, do that some other day because we don't have time. RN. Come on Sally, let's leave. And that was the end of that. Our principal promised my dad she would look into the matter and look at camera footage, but we knew that wouldn't happen. So my mom decided to go pay Sally's house a visit. Sally lived very close to us. It was a minute away from us. When we rang her doorbell, Sally's dad opened the door. SD, yeah. I want to talk with you about your daughter. SD, there is nothing to talk about, leave. Right then a voice called out from inside asking us to come in. We walked in and the first thing we noticed was a woman who looked deathly sick. Her head was shaved and she looked like she would drop to the floor at any moment. But she still had a sweet smile on her face. SM, hey. IMD, Sally's mother. What did you want to talk about my daughter? My mom hesitated at first. She said, "Nah, it's nothing." SM, no, tell me whatever it is. And then my mom told her everything. After hearing the whole story, Sally's mom called both her husband and daughter and made them apologize to us. She told us she had a brain tumor and we talked for a long time. Both the mothers hit it off immediately, and while they were talking about Sally's dad called me. SD, hey. I'm sorry for acting this way. It's just that I know Sally is going to lose her mom soon and I didn't want her to feel like a bad parent. So I had to support her no matter what. I know that's not an excuse, but I hope you will forgive us. OFC, that wasn't a good excuse, but I understood. Even at the tender age of 9, I knew losing a mother could potentially turn you into an a-hole. Sally then apologized to me, saying the only reason she did all that was to seem tough. Because if she didn't, she would have broken down in class almost every day. After that day, we were the best of friends. I would always go to her house to visit her and we would hang out all the time. I moved the next year, but we still had contact with each other for months. Then we both got new friends and we drifted apart. In 7th grade, Sally called me to inform me her mom had died that day. I had to comfort her through the phone for an hour. The reason why I am writing this story was because last week I went to visit her. As it was her mom's death anniversary, and I realized while most EPs are just plain a-holes, some are only entitled because of circumstances. You don't have to forgive, but maybe try to understand why they are the way they are. Maybe we could help them. What do you think about this story? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. If you like the story and the content, please leave a like, subscribe and share this video. Also have a look into my playlist for more entertaining stories. Thank you and have a nice day.